Okay, welcome to the Rockin' J&R homestead, where we are currently attempting our third round of making a tomato powder video. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about what tomato powder is, how it's useful to us here on our farm, and how I make it. So one of the things I said earlier about tomato powder is that by the way, my name is Rachel with the Rockin' J&R. So we have tomato powder. So this is a really beautiful, you can see, kind of powder here. And one of the things that we do is I take our cherry tomatoes and I actually use them by cutting them in half, like you can see here, to dehydrate. So our dehydrator is up here in the camera. It's a LEM dehydrator that you can see, and we actually take and dehydrate these. Once they're dehydrated, we will pull them off of this tray, and I will actually put them through a food blender that will pulverize them. So one of the exciting things that I wanted to talk about was the ways in which you can use the tomato powder. So one of my favorite ways to use it is for thickening. You can actually thicken soups, you can thicken chilies, stews, maybe you have an old jar of store-bought sauce in the back and it's just a little runny and you're thinking, goodness, I don't know what I'm going to do with that because it's just too runny, so you're not really sure what you're going to do. The tomato powder can be added, a tablespoon at a time to thicken up your sauces. It is shelf stable, so that's kind of the really awesome part about it. Whereas, the tomato paste you buy in the store kind of lack in flavor. They definitely are expensive. I think the last time I checked, they were at about $1.59 a jar, and that was kind of expensive to me, considering, we frequently use tomato paste probably 3 or 4 times a year, but we use 10 or 15 jars of it each time we use it. So I was looking at a way to save some money, and I hopped on over to that 1870s homestead, and I watched Rachel talk about making tomato powder. And in hers, she freeze dries hers, but we don't really have that option because I don't have a freeze dryer. So instead I use my dehydrator and we dehydrate them. And then we have some really amazing goodness that comes out of it, including our sauce. This is our chunky spaghetti sauce I made this fall. It is a recipe that I got off of NFCHP's website, which is a safe, tested website that you can use tomato paste in, and it has been tested to be safe for canning. So that is something I'm pretty huge on, is making sure that I do not risk my family's health for something like food. So I'm gonna go ahead and dehydrate those. I'm also going to try my very first hand at dehydrating mushrooms, and then I will dehydrate some of these apples. You can see they're the leftovers from a batch I dehydrated a couple weeks ago, but they're starting to soften, and it's time to make sure that they don't go to waste. We will hop back on here and chat with you guys some more once the tomatoes are done, and I will show you what it looks like to create your very own tomato powder.